A little while ago, I put up a poll asking my subscribers whether they would prefer one long collection pickups video a month showing everything I got in the previous month, or having them broken up into several shorter videos, and it seems like the pretty overwhelming majority here prefers having one long video like I've been doing, so I will continue to do that. But I think today's item deserves its own video, so allow me to do that. This is the Red Empire Rancor, which is a half studio scale model. In other words, it's meant to be a reproduction of the actual studio scale model that they used in the film, but it's half the size. And this is essentially a fan-made model. Red Empire Models is, I think, just one guy who has been selling some things through the RPF, the Replica Prop Forum, and also on eBay. So the Rancor itself is about 10.5 inches tall and maybe 12 inches on the base. The hands just slot in place with brass rods so that they can be taken off for shipping and whatnot. They don't actually have any kind of like magnets or anything to hold them in place, but the rods are quite long, so there's no danger of them coming off as far as I can tell. His other hand here has a manacle on it with an attached chain. The chain itself, I think, is metal, but the manacle is made of resin. Kind of rubs up a little against the arm there, but you can't see the part where it touches anyway, so I guess it's not a big deal. The manacle hides the place where the two parts join on that hand, but for this one it does not, and you can kind of see a visible seam there, but it's not too noticeable. Now, it's clear that this has borrowed a lot from the Regal Robot replica that was released a little while ago, and, at first I was like, geez, did they scan it or something? But no, I mean, it's not even really that close if you look at the details, but certainly the general concept is borrowed from the Regal Robot piece, but it's been completely resculpted from scratch, and I think they did a great job overall. This is definitely one of the more accurate Rancor sculpts in terms of being close to the original Rancor model from the movie. They added things like a wire earring and slobber using, I guess, some kind of resin. It comes with this nice black acrylic base, which you have to attach yourself when it arrives using some nuts and bolts. The only thing is, it's very, very shiny, and I think it's going to show fingerprints and dust like nobody's business. It also came with a nice metal-looking plaque that's actually made out of plastic, but it has the actual edition number of your piece on it, so mine is number 2 out of 10, which I was able to choose, by the way. And I attached it to the base using some double-sided tape because it was just kind of supplied loose. So generally speaking, I'm really happy with this model, although I did have a few issues sort of with the whole process of buying it. The main one is that it took almost 3 months to arrive from Russia. Yes, in case you couldn't tell, Red Empire Models is based in Russia. It was packed very well, I will say that for it, and basically arrived without any damage, with one kind of minor exception that I'll talk about in just a second. But still, 3 months is a long time to wait, and I wasn't able to really track it during that time either, so I was worried that maybe it had gotten lost. Also, just after unpacking it, I noticed that there were a couple of places where the paint had actually chipped off. There are a couple on the head here, and one on the arm, which I can show you right here. Not sure what caused that, and I was able to touch it up very easily with some paint on my own, but still, it's not something you like to see on a relatively expensive piece like this. I paid roughly $500 for this, plus shipping, so it's, as I say, not cheap, but all things considered, compared to a lot of the higher-end pieces out there, this is not expensive at all. He also offered a kit version that has just the raw resin castings and some of the other parts that you need to assemble it. It is, of course, cheaper to get it as a kit, but I really like the way they painted up the full model, and it looked like it would be a lot of work to put together all these parts and paint them and so forth, and I think the kit doesn't come with any kind of a base either. You're kind of responsible for making that on your own, so it didn't seem to make sense to me to do the kit version, even though I probably could paint it myself. Here you can see you're given the little earring and wire to wrap around it to replicate his earring, which seems like it would be very difficult. The The painted versions are limited to 10, and I know he hasn't sold all of those, so I will leave a link in the video description to his eBay seller page. I'm not sure if the kits are actually limited or not, but those are also available. Although I have noticed that the prices have gone up a little bit. Especially, he now offers a much more expensive FedEx shipping option, which, probably is in response to some of the problems he was having with shipping taking so long. This isn't really meant as an endorsement from me, but I am pretty happy with my purchase, and I just thought I would like to share it with some of the people who probably would be interested as well. Thanks for watching the video all the way to the end. If you're interested in supporting the channel, like these people right here, including Angelica Brady and my other Palace VIPs on Patreon, check out the link in the video description.